Danny Phantom is one of the best cartoons ever put out by Nickelodeon, and compared to other cartoons like SpongeBob or Fairly Odd Parents, it rarely ever gets the love and recognition that it deserves. Danny Phantom, like Fairly Odd Parents, was created by Butch Hartman, but unlike Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom only stuck around for 3 seasons, so it never suffered from the decline in quality from overstaying its welcome on Nickelodeon. The later seasons of Fairly Odd Parents are much weaker than its earlier seasons, so it makes sense that Danny Phantom, being only 3 seasons long, stayed high quality throughout its entire run. And one of my personal favorite episodes of Danny Phantom is Fanning the Flames, an episode from season 1 that features one of the hottest ghosts ever shown in the series. Balancing a high-stakes plot with some silly teenage romance, this episode had everything I loved about the show as a kid. However, there is one uncomfortable detail involving this episode, and I'm gonna point it out real quickly before we get started. There was a real-life murderer who had an obsession with the ghost character Ember. Pretty weird he picked this specific ghost character to obsess over, and if you're curious about all that, there is a really good YouTube video I'll link below that goes into it. But for our purposes, we aren't going to allow some sick killer to pervert Ember into something dark and twisted. We are just going to pervert her the normal way, like we always do around here, the good American way. She's sexy. This episode aired in season 1 of Danny Phantom all the way back in 2004, and since it's been an unbelievable 21 years since this episode premiered, and it can now legally enter a bar, I decided it's time for a rewatch to see if the ghost villain is really as sexy as I remember, and if I have a possible chance with her. But before we dive in, if you like this video, remember to like and subscribe. It really supports the channel and would help me grow. Let's do it. Come on. All right, let's get into it. I'm going ghost. So the episode starts with a really awesome title card. There's a unique one for each episode, and this is really a work of art. There is so much love put into these little the musical notes are even skulls. I love it. The episode starts off with Danny in a struggle with Klemper, the special needs ghost who just wants to be friends.
But I just want to be your friend!
Tucker and Sam help him out using the Fenton phones to communicate with him, which apparently filter out ghost noise so they can talk to him in the ghost realm. But Tucker mainly uses them to listen to music instead. And right off the bat, I'm gonna be straight up. If the Fenton phones filter out ghost noise, wouldn't that also filter out Danny's voice when he's in ghost mode? How is this helping them talk to him? He's a goddamn ghost. He's filtering himself out. The struggle ends with Danny sending Klemper off to a frozen wasteland that reminds me of the place they got exiled to in Monsters, Inc. And all Klemper wanted was a friend. Is that really grounds for banishment? Is Danny really the good guy we all thought he was? After all of that, Sam puts her hands on Danny's to help warm him up, reminding us all of the whole will they won't they dynamic in their friendship. And then things get lit with the crazy ass 10 out of 10 theme song. What a banger. One of the best songs Nickelodeon has ever put out, gotta be straight. Tucker is obsessed with new pop star Ember McLean, along with Paulina and about 99% of the rest of the students. Danny and Sam are pretty much the only ones not into it. They yell at Tucker to turn that shit down as he blasts her music, and the school bullies say, "Look at the lovebirds," to which they yell back, "We aren't lovebirds." Classic. Class gets interrupted when Ember pops up singing on all of the kids' computer screens. I wouldn't mind her taking over my device, if you know what I'm saying. The song is honestly pretty goddamn catchy as well. And there's a full version on Spotify, which isn't featured in the goddamn episode. Why would they have a full version of this banger-ass song and never play it in the episode in its entirety? Go look it up. Suddenly, a concert starts right outside school, and Ember McLean herself is there on stage to perform for these random school kids. And honestly, her singing voice is pretty good, and with how sexy the character art is, I gotta be honest, I had to look her up and see what this smoking babe look like, and oh my god, holy shit, it's Timmy Turner. Tara Strong, the voice of Timmy Turner, is Ember. And now that I know, you can totally goddamn hear it in all of the lines of dialogue that are spoken and not sang.
Hello, Casper! Tell me who you love! That's it, baby! Say my name!
I'm pissed. It's just funny to me with a character being so voluptuous, shall we put it, that the voice actress is Timmy Turner as well. It's just crazy. It's just, I mean, come on.
That's because I fill a void in your empty lives!
Everyone goes wild at this street concert, and Danny realizes Ember is actually a ghost who is hypnotizing the crowd with her performance. When it's over, Tucker complains there's no encore. Buddy, you got a free pop-up concert during school. A major pop star showed up unannounced in the frickin' courtyard of a public high school, and you're still complaining. The entire student body is becoming increasingly obsessed with Ember. After the concert, it's out of control, man, including Danny's crush Paulina. I know we mentioned her earlier, but damn, she is snatched. What is it? What the hell? What is it? What is it with the Danny Phantom universe having snatched ass women? Pauline, Ember, Danny's mom, they're all snatched. Tucker won't stop screaming about getting more tickets to see Ember perform again, so they decide to deprogram him, and they just leave him in this Clockwork Orange looking ass brainwashing machine designed to help them study for standardized testing. Off on their own, Danny and Sam wonder why they're the only ones not affected by Ember's trance. Danny thinks maybe it's his ghost powers, and Sam thinks it's her utter disdain for anything popular. The teacher, Mr. Lancer, tells them to get back to class though, and of course calls them lovebirds. And they scream, they're not lovebirds. Do you think they're lovebirds? While Danny turns them both invisible to escape from the teacher and fly away. This is my first time noticing this. Why did Danny not have to go ghost to use his ghost abilities? Does he just yell out going ghost to feel cool? It's not mandatory, clearly. This is news to me. Buddy doesn't have to go ghost? Why does he do it then? Come on, dude. He's flashy. He's a flashy man. Danny and Sam then fly over to Ember's concert, and it's revealed she gets stronger as the crowd chants her name. This episode was ahead of its time because that is, I believe, what Taylor Swift does today in order to generate all of her power, actually. That's 100% factual. Danny squares off with sexy Timmy Turner, and this moment definitely gave me some confused feelings as a kid. She's dominating Danny, overpowering him while he sweats, and she's talking about her lust for power and world domination. She then launches him right between the legs of her giant sexy silhouette cardboard cutout thing. There is no way this was an accident. They knew what they were doing. Danny is so shook, he's actually knocked back into human form, and I bet he's a changed man. And when Sam comes to rescue Danny, Ember realizes she has a little crush and decides to distract them with a love spell. Danny emerges from in between the sexy legs and starts to crawl towards Sam, saying, "Wow, I never realized you're really pretty when you're about to fall off a building." So the love spell also made him lose all survival instincts. Sam immediately realizes that Danny is making some bedroom eyes at her, and she's pretty confused because normally he's making those eyes at Paulina. And Danny makes a grabbing motion, and let's be real, he's trying to grab some goth titties. That is the only thing on his mind. So Sam and Danny, that's it. They fall off the goddamn roof, I guess. That's it. And all the kids from the concert are taken home by the SWAT team because the SWAT team just had nothing else to do that day, I guess. Why were they at the concert anyway? The Fenton parents are pissed because Jazz is obsessed with pop star Ember and Danny is obsessed with Sam. They think this is unacceptable and both kids should be obsessed with ghosts like them. Dad suggests putting the kids in a contraption that looks like the Chokey from Matilda. In my opinion, it looks more like a torture device from medieval times designed to kill you slowly by poking only your non-major organs. Why would he want to put his own children in there? Jazz escapes to go to the Ember concert while Danny prays for Sam to show up. When she does, he starts showering her with over-the-top love and affection, and she tells him to snap out of it, reminding him that they don't feel that way about each other. Danny questions why she is still wearing those Fenton phones he gave her if they don't feel feel that way. And in that moment, Sam realizes the reason she hasn't been affected by Ember's music is because she's been wearing her Fenton phones all along, which block out all ghost noise. I don't know what they mean by ghost noise here, because Sam can hear Ember talk and sing as well, so what? Ghost powers, I guess? But not even. Danny turned Sam invisible in the school when the teacher was trying to take him back to class, and she was wearing the Fenton phones, so they don't even block out ghost powers, and they don't block out voices, so what do they block out then? Sam decides they need to deprogram Danny like they did for Tucker, and gasps, realizing she left Tucker behind, plugged into that damn machine for 12 hours straight. They go rescue Tucker, who sees Danny acting all lovey-dovey to Sam, and tells them it's about time, and he always thought they would end up together. Sam explains it's not real and Danny's just under a spell, and Tucker is confused because he thought Sam wanted this. She says maybe she wants it, but not like this. And this is actually a really good message. Very unselfish and mature of Sam. She is a great friend to Danny, and an overall awesome character. Side note, I like Tucker with the eyeliner and Ember fanboy look as well. That would totally be me. You know what? It could be me. I don't know why I said would be. It could be. You never know. They realize Ember's concert starts in 15 minutes, so there's no time to deprogram Danny. So they head over to the concert with him still stuck in lover boy mode. And why are the high school bullies working as security for Ember? Surely she must have her own security team if she's a world pop star. Danny, Tucker, and Sam get caught by security and held in place as Ember starts to perform. Sam begs Danny to go fight her and stop her, but he refuses to leave Sam. Ember's hair grows into a stronger, more powerful flame as everyone shouts her name over and over. Realizing she can't break the spell, Sam decides her only choice is to break Danny's heart instead, to snap him out of it. So thinking fast, she kisses the bully Dash. Danny is shook and pissed, and it successfully snaps him back to his normal self again. Danny's confused about what happened and says, I feel like my heart's been ripped out, but I know who I can take it out on. Then launches into a fight against Ember in an epic battle, and again, every time she speaks and doesn't just sing, it's straight up Timmy. It's absolutely hilarious. Just the juxtaposition between this sexy, evil, overpowering dominatrix ghost and the sound of Timmy Turner's voice is insane.
The revolution will be televised!
Danny realizes his ass is toast unless he does what Sam did to him, to the entire crowd. He needs to break the spell. So thinking fast, he tosses the mic to Tucker, who has a horrible singing voice, and the trance over everyone is immediately broken. Ember screams at the crowd, begging them to say her name. Danny says the only thing we're saying is goodbye, and sucks her up into the ghost vacuum, never to be seen again. Not sure that's the best zinger from Danny, but you had a lot of hormones raging through him this episode, so he's a little distracted and off his game. I guess we'll let it slide. Sam hugs Danny to congratulate him on his dub, and that's definitely the show's way of keeping the door open for these two to possibly develop a romance in the future, and I'm here for it. But also, it's nice to see that their friendship survived through the love spell and all the weirdness in this episode. The fact Sam can still look at Danny the same way is pretty cool. The last thing we see is Ember stuck in the ghost zone as the special needs ghost Klemper annoys her by chanting Ember, Ember, and in the most Timmy possible voice, she replies, "Stop saying my name." That wasn't a good Timmy impersonation. I'm sorry.
Stop saying my name!
Good one. Nice irony there, though. You love to see it. And as the credits start to roll, how did this episode measure up 21 years later? I gotta say, clearly some things are just timeless. The entire plot with Danny and Sam, corny as it may be, is really sweet and relatable. It reminds me of being that age and being so nervous to tell a friend you had a crush on him. When Danny is broken out of the love spell and Sam explains none of it was real, but she kind of wished it had been real, I so badly wanted them to have a longer discussion about it instead of Danny just running off right away to fight Ember. That part was frustrating because I want these two together. But again, this episode is only from season 1, so they're leaving more room for their relationship to develop, and for now, we're left with a cute little friendship. And I get it, you gotta tease them, you gotta breadcrumbs, you gotta keep the fans wanting more. As much as I want Danny to pick Sam, also I understand why he's distracted by some of the other females in the Danny Phantom universe. I don't even understand why the animators made Paulina so hot, to be honest. Even Danny's mom, the hot goth friend, the hot goth villain, the sexy Latina crush. This show might as well be Pixar when it comes to women. Yeesh! And as a kid, I don't know if I liked that or not. Maybe subconsciously I did. And speaking of hot, what makes this episode so memorable and so banger has got to be Ember herself. What a memorable villain. Her song, which replays throughout pretty much the entire episode in 10-second chunks, is actually super catchy and lit, so you don't get irritated hearing it 200 times. And honestly, Tara Strong is such a good voice actress. Her singing voice is dope, and the whole concept of a pop star villain who generates power via screaming audience is cool as hell. One of my favorite parts of Danny Phantom as a series has always been all the cool and creative ghosts you see from episode to episode. They're always so unique and memorable. And in that category, this episode is a great example because Ember is one of the coolest ghosts the show has ever had. But enough of me yapping. What do you guys think? Did you never realize that Ember was Timmy Turner until I pointed it out? Has the Ember You Will Remember song been stuck in your head for the past 21 years? Let me know what you think in the comments and let's kick it. If you have any future requests on series or episodes you want to see me do, throw them down below as well. Let's get it. And if you stuck around this long, why not check out my other videos and subscribe? It would mean the world to me. Support the channel, all that good stuff. Please do it. It helps. And one last quick thing. I want to give a shout out to Kendall OK, the first channel member and still the only channel member. You are great. You are cool. You are grand. You're everything that's positive. Keep on going and thanks. All right. Thanks for listening.